What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily horoscope for Wednesday, January 6th, 2021. Brian here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. We got quite the day. The moon's going to make some squares to Pluto, to Mercury. We got Mars coming into Taurus after 6 long months in Aries with a retrograde, a lot of squares to Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto. And now Mars is in detriment here in Taurus, and that kind of slows us down. You know, Aries and Mars want to charge forward. It is that warrior mentality, kind of going after what you really want, what makes you feel independent, what gives you the freedom and the ultimate like drive to go after all desires. And in Taurus, it slows down a little bit. Kind of want to like, you know, it kind of brings up the senses in Taurus. Like what does everything feel like, you know, on a touch level. And I think that, you know, we don't want to like slow down too much, but we do want to definitely charge forward when it comes to our confidence, when it comes to the relationship that we have with ourselves and the values that we do have. And, you know, to not just slow down so much that we don't go into the goals and desires that we've, you know, put the work in for already. And we don't just like stop those plans for the next 2 months. You know, as individuals, we still got things that, you know, we desire and want to make happen. So it's important to go after that, and not get, you know, too slowed down or, you know, put just all your energy on the back burner, you know, and just, you know, kind of relax. It is a Venus ruled sign, Taurus. So it's like, you know, we can't just be like the goddess all the time and just get all the grapes fed to us. Nom, nom, nom. I mean, it sounds nice. Don't get me wrong. If we can do that, make it happen. But, you know, keep going forward, you know, with the things that you've put into place up till now. That moon is going to be in Libra. It is going to make a lot of squares to the Capricorn energy coming off the square to the sun. Pluto is going to square Mercury as well as Mercury comes off of Pluto fully. This is definitely trying to find the balance between like the sensual aspects of life, the beauty of life, and then the true nitty-gritty, the true desires of what we want to move into, what we want to build, and how we're going to get there. And, you know, I think we all have a mountain we want to climb, we want to get to the top of in this life. And, you know, we just can't forget that, like, every day it's important to go after those goals that we really want. And maybe we have to transform something within us today that's you know, holding us back from our own true desires and making that happen. And, you know, not weighing out emotions that, you know, are holding you back from the mountain top that you want to get up. And, you know, I would say communication's a big deal. Like being able to express the beauty that you want to see, that you want to create in your world is a big deal. And that comes up here too. We're going to have Venus on the galactic center still. I think that we're just stepping into, you know, we're looking for like high vibrational, you know, positive energy with Venus in Jupiter, and what can open up the world to the exciting story we want to live and the exciting relationships that we can have, and, you know, go on a pretty like amazing adventure. That moon is also going to sextile in the evening that Venus as well. So, you know, a lot of the balance and harmony comes through the people we connect with. And are we going into a beautiful, amazing, wide open story that we can create right now, or are we in some sort of karmic loop of, you know, maybe just feeling really out of balance, really, you know, not connected to the sensual side of life? And I think Mars and Taurus can help with that. But we don't want to like just get lost playing in the roses. Like, we definitely still want to go after our desires and make things happen. Mars has got a lot to deal with here. So it's going to start squaring over to Jupiter and Saturn. And then Jupiter and Saturn are semi-square Neptune. So it can seem like the future is just a dream. And you have to remember that you can create the future you want for yourself. You got to make the dream a reality. You know, don't get spelled thinking that it has to look one certain way only. Like, there are infinite possibilities in this reality. You can make whatever happen for yourself. You just have to look at things very objectively and look for your own truth and look for your own gifts that you can open up in your life. I think that something that's very interesting is Jupiter moves to 4 degrees and is within 2 degrees of the square to Uranus. Now, we do have the electoral count today, and I think that that's a big deal. And I would say that as Uranus gets closer to this exact square to Jupiter, like this is the part of like 2021 that starts to get difficult with Jupiter and Saturn squaring off with Uranus. You know, Uranus being the dispositor of Aquarius, Jupiter and Saturn are there. Of course, Saturn's home too, but this is definitely shaking up reality. And you know what? With Uranus squaring Jupiter, this can shatter beliefs. I'll be honest, and that's where I bring up that electoral count, because I just think that today is one of those days where if you think that you have it all figured out, you might not have it all figured out, and it is those beliefs outside of ourself that we put. I know a lot of people put a lot of energy into politics. They put a lot of energy into what the media says, and different stories, and or whatever we see on the internet. There's just a lot of belief on both sides of the spectrum, and this is one of those days where something really wild could happen. We're in that territory now, and with something big like that coming, and even the exact, I believe the exact square between Jupiter and Uranus happens on the 14th, or right around the time Uranus comes online, comes direct. I mean, and then Saturn squares on, I believe, the 18th, right before the 21st, like, which is the inauguration day. It just, and Jupiter and Saturn, this was a presidential election on a Jupiter-Saturn year. Like, wild things happen on Jupiter-Saturn years with presidential elections. So, I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I don't want to put too much of my own personal belief into one of those stories, to be honest with you. I have my bias, of course. I think we all have a bias. And I just think no matter what happens with it, that's what we were going through, with a lot of these transits in the past, and this Mars in Aries, really trying to help us, take action for our own independence, and, not just give our beliefs away. And remember, we have that South Node in Sag, which Jupiter is the dispositor, making a hard square to Uranus. Like, I'm telling you, like, thinking you have it all figured out, and you're just like this guru, and you're in your just ultimate beliefs that like life's just one way and things are just gonna happen, like that's when beliefs can get shattered. And Jupiter rules beliefs, and it rules hope, and Uranus shakes things up and rattles it and accelerates it in one way or another. And with Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius, like it's going in a different direction. So whatever happens today, which I definitely think there's going to be something big, but the thing with Neptune making that semi-square is, we might not just see it through the media. There might be some hidden, stuff going on, or something might get said through the media that actually, I mean, no surprise, isn't true. This happens all the time. I just don't want to see people get their beliefs shattered today because they're just overly invested in something like a political party when, to be honest, neither one of these candidates, I mean, I don't want to say have a chance because of Jupiter Saturn, but it's not like favorable. It really is some sort of crazy curse. And, I wish them both the best, but I don't think, I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Like, this first part of this year, and I've said it before, it's wild, it's shaken up. We have a lot of fixed energy, so, beliefs, values, and, just society with Aquarius too, and humanity that we've been so fixated on for so long. Like, these are getting rattled majorly by the planets right now. So, the best way to get through it is to have your own plan for yourself, to have your belief in yourself, to have your belief in something bigger, and to not give all your energy to either one of these sides overly. Like, yes, pay attention. Yes, have your beliefs, have your opinions, by all means. I'm not saying that, but if something crazy goes down and it's not what you were expecting, I just don't want anybody to lose their mind with Neptune square the nodes. Like, I'm going to be honest, like, people can feel like they're just in another dimension right now. And, if you don't have that connection to something bigger, and you don't feel like you're like divinely guided, like you can feel super lost and in just a really weird fog. And I I just want people to keep being curious, keep looking for information, and, to pivot. I think Gemini can always change hats. Gemini can always switch it up. And that's something that we all have to, embody right now, and myself included. Like, if we have to pivot and switch things up in life, like today might be one of those days where we're being shown we got to switch it up. So it's definitely an energy shift today. I would say it's the energy's heavy. It's ramping up. There is some pretty gnarly stuff. I think that we might have to balance a lot of emotions out when because our beliefs are going into really like pressed places. Like there could be, and it goes for both sides, whether you're Biden, Trump, whether you believe whatever, this is one of those things. And Uranus will, it'll bring out the unexpected. So it's likely that the side that least expects something to go wrong, something will likely go wrong over these next few weeks, especially. So I just want you guys to be in your sovereignty today. Balance out what's beautiful for you and what's taking you to the top and what's empowering you. Go after what could be the finer things in life with Mars and Taurus. Like chase what empowers you, chase what gives you value, But Mars is starting to square off with Saturn, so it can feel like we're just not sure, And I think that the Jupiter square Uranus is going to bring that up. Like we're just not going to be sure where we want to put our vitality, because a lot of things that we truly gave a lot of energy to and believed in can rattle the world. But if you're in your sovereignty, you trust in the divine, and you're on a path that, nothing outside of you can take it out, like it's still empowering times to go after those goals, to express what you want to make happen, to deal with, the people in life that want to see you succeed, and to not give too much energy to people that actually don't, really care and want to open you up to something new, to a beautiful journey. So I'm definitely predicting that something wild happens with this vote, this congressional electoral vote. It's just got the makings that it's not going to go exactly as planned, and I don't know what that means either way. But it's interesting. I think you look at the voting stuff, and it was the craziest election we've ever had. At least that I've ever seen in my 31 years on this planet. And I mean, I just think that with the North Node in Gemini, if you can't even question that there might have been voter fraud, like you can't even just, maybe there was. That's a hard one. And I know a lot of people really like Biden. So I'm not trying to tell people they're wrong for liking him. You guys are all welcome to your beliefs, but whew. And I know people don't like Trump either. Trust me, he triggers a lot of people. Let's see what we got here. Wow, the Two of Coins. We could really be juggling a lot of emotions today, I think. There could just be a shift of values. There could be a shift of a lot of things, and it's like, I don't know anything anymore. Today's one of those days where if you don't just have your sovereignty, you don't just have your goals, and you're not going to let some crazy, it's crazy out there. And with that moon in Libra making these squares to Pluto and Mercury, like, we don't want to weigh out our desires. We don't want to weigh out our, what's going to make us feel good in life because of some president or some president-elect or some crazy vote. I mean, I think we need to fight for our freedom all the time, but that freedom starts with you and not giving in to just losing it because maybe things didn't go your way. And I think that one way or the other, that's what we're coming into. So that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter what side you're on. Like, half the collective is going to have their beliefs shattered, and maybe the other half will in the next couple weeks. Like, that's how back and forth and crazy and wild this can be right now in our reality. And we got choices to make. And, this has a zombie on a leash. Like, you guys, we don't want to be, we don't want to be on anybody's leash. Political, relationship wise. Like we gotta, have the reins of our own life and, have no leash. We're not animals. We don't need to be herded anywhere. So, I love you guys very much. I have a heavy feeling that today is going to be pretty wild, so we'll see how it goes. And I hope that you are going for the top of your mountain no matter what happens in this crazy world we live in. Keep your sovereignty, keep your power. Don't ever lose that. Just because Mars is out of Aries doesn't mean that you shouldn't wear the crown in your life. It is that emperor energy of Aries, especially Mars being home there. So make your life great. Don't let the world take you out of that. I love you very much. I will see you tomorrow. Peace.